All right, guys. So here we go. Welcome. Today we're going to be talking about how to get more bookings. I'm Tariq, founder of EventHawk. And real quick, just before we do anything else, just a quick background on me. I'm founder of EventHawk, and I founded EventHawk actually accidentally as I was trying to grow. So, do your best. Kind of hard to figure out who's not muted. All right, got it figured out. It's easier now. Okay, sorry about that. So my wife and I started our party rental company about 7 years ago, and we had the same challenge that many of you guys have with growing our business. So EventHawk is actually something that I kind of put together to help myself grow, and then I started sharing it with other people like you guys. So long story short, I had a full-time job and ran my business, had a few different jobs. And eventually we were able to really stumble upon what I'm about to share with you guys today. We finally figured out the secret recipe, the secret missing link on how to really get more bookings. And it's actually really, really simple. It's actually the fact that we're asking the wrong question all along. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys right now. And in a few minutes here, it's really gonna click in your head and you're gonna get that aha moment like, wow, I've been thinking about it wrong all along. So in order for us to get more bookings, that's a big question, right? How do you get more bookings? Well, in order to get more bookings, you have to ask yourself, not how do I get more bookings? There's actually another question that you have to ask. The question you really have to ask is, what is the number one action that leads to a booking, okay? If all you look at is bookings, 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 how do I get more bookings? Well, there could be 1,000,001 things that could be preventing you from getting a booking. But if you understand what ends up actually leading to a booking, right? If you focus on what happens before a booking, then you can really figure out where it is that you're falling short. So this is usually what we do. We look at, I know how many clicks I got and I know how many bookings I got, and that's it. I just saw somebody post on Facebook the other day, hey, I got X amount of views and I got thousands of views and only 10 bookings. Why is that? What am I doing wrong? You're asking the wrong question, right? If all you look at is clicks and bookings, then you're really not looking at what's happening in the middle here. So there's something that's very, very important that happens between a click and a booking, right? That really determines everything. Okay, if you're posting on social media, or if you're sharing on Google, or if you have Google or Google My Business, Google Maps, from when people click on your website to when they book, there's a lot of stuff that happens. There's really, and it all falls under one category. What is that category? It's huge, it's simple, it's really a no-brainer when you think about it. Communication. People don't just book with you after they click. Very, very rarely do they do. Most people have to communicate with you in some way before they book. And if you understand this, now you're probably thinking, Tariq, really, that's it? Stay with me, trust me. Once you see what this all means in the end, you'll realize how much you're missing out on, because all you're thinking about is how to get more bookings, right? Most customers do not book online without some type of communication. Ask yourself, you see the emails come in, right? Especially if you're a smaller guy, if you go through all the bookings, very rarely do you see somebody book 100% online without ever calling you, without ever texting you, without ever emailing you, without ever messaging you on social media. There's usually some type of communication before they go ahead and book with you. And that's key. If you understand that, then you realize that that part is very, very important, and that part is something that we really, really neglect. So, fact, only 1 to 5 out of every 100 people who visit your website will actually initiate. This is really important to understand, guys. So we just established that in order to get more bookings, we need to not just look at bookings, we need to look at all the steps that lead to a booking, okay? And a big part of that is communication with the customer. Problem is, most customers are not gonna call you, they're not gonna email you, they're not gonna text you, they're just gonna look at your website and they're gonna leave. And that's where you say, wow, I got 1,000 clicks or 1,000 views and only 2 bookings. Why is that? Well, that's because you're waiting on them to call you. You're waiting on them to initiate contact with you. It's not going to happen. Most people will not do that. So how do you get more communications? You need to be the one to initiate the contact with the customer. Okay? You need to initiate the communication with them. How do you do that? You need 2 things in order to initiate more communications with the customer. 2 things. You need, number 1, you need their phone number, right? Email is dead. People don't check their emails. You can collect email, but really, really important to get their phone number, right? Because again, you can have you can have the best booking software, the best website. If you're gonna sit there and rely on your website 100% to book for you, I'm with all due respect to your website and your booking software, it's just not gonna happen with zero communication, right? Communication is key. People like to talk to another human being. They need to know that someone's there, right? Ask yourself, when was the last time you purchased something other than Amazon, right? But without some kind of communication, you have questions, right? So the two things that you need, number one is you need a phone number. And number two, very important, you need to stop everything that you're doing and contact them before they book with someone else. And this is where the problem lies. We're busy. It's hard to do, right? So you can collect their numbers. You can, put out all kinds of promotions, collect information. But unless you communicate with the customer while they're still on your website, while they're still shopping, they're gone. How many times do you call somebody, or do you, you reach out to somebody and then they either don't call you back, you play phone tag with them all day, or you email them and text them, they ignore you. It's because it's too late. So you have to do these two things though. It's really, really important. And to a lot of you guys, it's like, wow, it's just a lot. So it's just something that you have to do, or you can just hire EventHawk to do it for you for less than $3 a day. So I know you guys are like, oh, well, I've heard of EventHawk, or I'm already using EventHawk. Even if you're already using EventHawk, or if you've heard of EventHawk, you really need to understand the process and why this works and why you need it. Again, you don't need EventHawk. Essentially, EventHawk just covers these two things for you, which we just talked about, right? Gets their phone number and stops. It automatically communicates with the customer for you. So I'm going to go ahead and show you a website. I need anybody who's on Zoom who is not using EventHawk. Tell me your website. Just unmute yourself and tell me your website. And I'm going to visit your website, and I'm going to go to your website as if I'm a customer, and we're going to go through it.
GalaxyJumpersOK.com.
Galaxy Jumpers.
Okay.
Okay.com?
Yep.
Okay, thank you for stepping up, Sean. Hope I got the right website. All right, this is the right place?
That's it.
Perfect. All right. So I'm on galaxyjumpers.com and I want to book a bounce house, right? I seen you on Facebook or on Google Maps or on Google Ads or on SEO, wherever I found you. I know that you offer bounce houses and I want to book a bounce house with you. Okay. So right off the bat, I'm going to come here and I'm going to, I guess, I've never been on your site. I may have been on your site before. I think I've seen a post about it, but generally speaking, a lot of our websites look the same. I want to book a bounce house. So I click on products. Oh, great. You have bounce houses. That's exactly what I want, right? I go here and I see, you have these two options. I click on this option here and I will say your website's kind of dark. Doesn't make it bad, but most websites are a little bit brighter. Does make it, a little less fun, but that's just my opinion. Doesn't mean it's wrong again, but here's the problem. This is the problem where we run into. I want to book this, right? It's $200. It's a great price, but I have a question. How long do I get to keep this thing? Right? And you're like, oh, well, Tariq, it's somewhere on here. Well, I'm not going to read it, right? I'm not going to go and look for all this information. How long do I get to keep it? How big is it? Oh, well, Tariq, the size is right there. It's 14 by 30. Okay, but what does that mean? How many kids actually fit in here? Do you deliver it or do I pick it up? Does it need an outlet or does it stay on the whole time? Do I get to keep it overnight? I have all these questions. I love this unit, right? I really want it, but I have all these questions and you're giving me one option and one option only: make a reservation or book now or add to cart. This is the problem, guys. This is the big problem. You are asking for a big commitment way too early. I don't even know you, right? Now, if you're Amazon, I trust Amazon. I know Amazon. The goal is not to make your website look like Amazon. The goal is to get people to trust you like Amazon. And frankly, that's just not going to happen for a long, long time. So by you asking me to make a reservation and I don't even know you, that's a big commitment. So you know what I'm going to do? I've literally done this, guys. I've tracked people on these websites for myself over and over again because I got really, really good at Google Ads. Okay, that was how I really grew my business. I started to really get into Google Ads, but then I looked, I said, wow, I'm paying for 100 clicks, but out of those 100 clicks, only one of them is actually booking with me. Why is that? Right? So the more I started to look, I started using software to watch these people. And I kid you not, every time this is exactly what they do on the website. They come to my site, they get here, they do this, they do this, they do this, they do this. They're trapped. They're looking for a way out. and you're only giving them one option, which is to make a reservation. So they feel stuck. So guess what they do? They leave right away. So you just paid for a click, and or you put in time to get your SEO going, or you post it on social media, you got me to your website, and then because you asked me for a big commitment way too soon, I left. And that's what happens on all websites. It's nothing that, it's not you. This was the same thing with my website. So let me go ahead and show you my website here. So this is my website, okay? I come to this website, it's basic site, nothing too crazy. And right off the bat, I see this annoying pop-up right here, right? So I'm like, okay, it's a pop-up. I'm probably gonna ignore it or just X out of it. Now these pop-ups are fully customizable. You can make them look really, really nice or really, really basic. I like the basic ones. But anyways, I see that pop-up, I ignore it. So I'm gonna do the same thing I did on your website, right? I wanna go ahead and book a bounce house. So I come to these bounce houses, and I like this one here. And here we go, add to cart, right? This is a problem. I have the same problem that you have on your website. I'm asking for a big commitment, but check it out. There's a second option here. This is where EventHawk comes in to save the day and says, hey, listen, you don't have to add to cart if you're not ready. If you're not ready to add to cart, just click get coupon. Now you tell me, add to cart versus get coupon, who do you think is gonna win? For somebody who's never visited your website before, doesn't know you, has 60 questions about this thing, and they love it, they want it, they really, really want it. They know their kid's gonna love it, but they're just not sure. Get coupon is gonna win 9 times out of 10. They're not gonna click add to cart. They're gonna say, all right, because again, they're gonna do the same thing, up, down, and then they're gonna be like, okay, between get coupon and add to cart, this is a big commitment, this is a small commitment. This is asking for their credit card number. This is only asking for their phone number. So this is where EventHawk collects their information. You don't have to do a thing. Essentially, it's collecting their information. It's getting them to start the booking software, and they don't really know it. But why do they do it then, right? Why don't they just go ahead and use your booking software to get a quote or become a lead? Because there's an incentive behind this. We're telling them, hey, give us your information, and we're gonna give you we're gonna give you a special, right? We're gonna give you something special. And in return for that, they're gonna give us their information. It works really, really well. Why does it work? Is it because Tariq is the genius? I wish I could take credit. That's not why. It's because there's companies much larger than mine, Apple, Netflix, Nike. They figured this out a long, long time ago, and they've been doing it for years. It's called a sales funnel, right? They funnel you in. McDonald's, they get you in with their dollar menu, right? Or they used to, right? And then they say, do you want fries with that? Do you want a shake? They almost lose money on their burger, but they make money on the shake and the fries. You end up, walk out of there spending $6, $7 when you walked in with a dollar menu, right? So it's all the same thing. You get them on the hook. We're offering, EventHawk helps you do that for your small company. So the cool thing is, now that you have their info, now you have to call them or text them if you didn't have EventHawk. But with EventHawk will automatically send them a text message while they're still shopping, while they're still on your website. After they click the pop-up, they'll get a text, and it says, hey, Sean, you were just on our website looking at bounce houses. When's your party? Let me see if I can help you out. Let me see if I have availability for you. Guess what happens when we do that? Up to 90% of people text back within minutes. Like, oh my God, Sean, thank you for messaging me. I love the bounce house. I just wasn't sure if it's good for a 9-year-old. Or I just wasn't sure if you deliver it. Or I just wasn't sure if I can get it at 11 a.m. and if you could set it up before my guests get here. They ask all these silly questions that you have answers to already, and they just want somebody to talk to. The best part is you don't have to sit there and be on the phone with them, right? You don't have to sit there and spend all this time on the phone with them answering these questions. It's all done via text message, right? And you could talk to 5, 6 people at the same time instead of having to go ahead and stop what you're doing and get on the phone with these people and go back and forth all day and miss a bunch of calls. So it does it automatically for you. It works because it's automated. It sounds human, even though it's automated, and it's texting. It's not emailing, and the timing is just right. It texts them while they're still shopping. If you wait just 10 minutes, if you just wait 10 minutes to contact the client, I guarantee you they're already not able to talk. They're picking up their kids from school. They're making dinner. They're watching a movie. They don't want to be bothered. But EventHawk does it exactly at the right time. Now, again, you do not need EventHawk to do this. You can go out. EventHawk is nothing that I invented, right? EventHawk just takes a very basic process that works all around the world for multi-million-dollar companies, and I've customized it for the party rental industry, and we charge $3 a day pretty much for it, right? So you don't have to pay us. You can do it on your own, but again, it took me years to figure this out and much longer to actually implement it and a lot more money. So it makes sense if you're serious about growing your business, just to have somebody who already knows how to do it. It's already working. We've got, EventHawk today is 3 times as big as it was a year ago. We have 3 times, we've grown 300% in the last 12 months. So literally 1 year ago, we had 1/3 of the customers we have today. We're the largest marketing company in the industry. We have more 5-star reviews than anybody else because it works, because it's affordable, and because it's fast. This is the time. This is the time where you guys really, we're actually a little bit late, actually. It's about to be April. You really have to get your, your website going, all this stuff going, because there's people on your website right now. Before you go and spend more money on SEO or Google ads or Facebook ads or boosting posts, start making money from the people who are already on your website, right? Stop chasing more people, because essentially, the best way to put it is your website is a cup. It's honestly the best way. Your website is a cup, and you're paying to fill up the cup. You're filling up the cup with clicks, with SEO, Facebook, Google. You're doing all this, but studies show, if you look at the numbers, all those clicks are leaking out. They're not calling you. They're not booking with you. 99% of them aren't even calling you. So if I ask you, how many bookings did you get last year, right? You can tell me right off the bat. If I ask you, how much money did you make last year? You know that number like that. But if I ask you, how many clicks did you get last year? You have no idea. But if you knew that number, I promise you'd be crying right now, because you're going to realize that, wow, all the bookings I got last year were like 1% of the clicks that I got. Where's everybody else at? They all leaked out. Everybody leaks out. 99% leak out. So EventHawk patches the leak before you go ahead and fill that up. Again, it's something that you can try to do on your own. It took me about 1.5 years to figure out this process. I tried a lot of different things, and what we have now works really, really well. That's really it, guys. This is the best and fastest way to get more bookings. If you're already using EventHawk, then you need to start using sales funnels. That's the next level. It's free, it doesn't cost you anything, but we have a sales funnel module within EventHawk where you can take it even to the next level. I'm not going to go into details with that, but that'll literally double or even triple your EventHawk bookings. If EventHawk can double your bookings, then the sales funnels can take it even farther. A little more advanced, but I know some of you guys here are already using EventHawk. So if you listen to me all this and you're like, Tariq, well, I already know all this, go watch my video on sales funnels in the EventHawk members group. That'll really take things to the next level. That's pretty much all I got, guys. For those of you guys who are interested, sorry, forgot this part. All you have to do is all you got to do is text the word grow to our phone number, 401-6465, 708-401-6465, and we'll send you our packages and pricing. So what I would recommend you guys do right now is take a screenshot of this. You don't have to do it right now if you're busy. I know some of you guys are on your phones and you're like, Tariq, how am I going to text you if I'm already on the Zoom right now or on Facebook? So screenshot this, and you can do it later on. Just text the word grow to our phone number, and then we'll text you right away our packages and pricing. So go ahead and take a screenshot of that. You could do it and get the information. And that's pretty much all I got, guys. So I'll turn it around to you guys for questions. This is a roundtable discussion, so I want to turn it around. Anybody who's got any marketing questions whatsoever, I'm here for the next 40 minutes. So go ahead and shoot. We got a ton of people here, so I'm not going to be able to go through everybody one at a time. But if you want to unmute yourself, tell us where you're located, how long you've been in business, and what your question is. I'll be happy to help you out.
Hey, Tariq.
Hey, Ashley.
Hi, how you doing? I know I've been bothering you about EventHawk so much, but I'm doing a lot of changes still to my website. I have a question. So I see that you are integrating a funnel, like you said. So you're integrating a funnel so that they can get an incentive. However, what about what the websites that have like chat widgets and Facebook communication where they can just chat with an agent online? Like, you know how Bounty Castle Network has agents online now. How does that differ from them asking questions on yours and them just getting quick answers when agents are online?
That's a great question. I'm really glad you asked. So first of all, EventHawk does have a chat widget, and our chat widget is better than the one that you're referring to, because it actually texts you. Now, the problem with most chat widgets is you have to sit and wait on the website in order to talk to somebody. So if I send you a message here and I say, you know, hey, how much do you have this available today? I have to sit here and wait for you to text me back. I can't go on Facebook. I can't make a call. I have to sit here and wait on your website until you become available and text me back. Most people are gone. If you've used that at all, you message and then they're like gone, or it goes to their Facebook and this will actually text them. So this, when they send a message, this goes right to your EventHawk, and then you can actually, when you respond to them, it goes to their phone. So if they send you a message and you don't get back to them right away, when you do get back to them, it goes to their cell phone, just like their friends are texting them, and they can carry the conversation from there. So to answer your question, EventHawk does have a chat widget. So why haven't I talked about it all this time? Why did I focus more on this? Because what is the incentive behind the chat widget? Remember, I just said about 1% of people will actually initiate contact with you. This is them initiating contact with you, right? They don't want to do it. Don't ask me why. People are lazy, honestly. You know, that's just, they're people these days, they don't want to call you. They don't want to message you. They just, you know, if they don't get what they want, then they're just going to kind of end up booking with somebody random. So EventHawk basically will text the customer for you before they even think to text you. So before the customer comes to the point where they're like, you know what, let me call Ashley. I'm ready to book. I have questions. Let me call her. For the customer, you got to understand that most customers never get to that point. Most customers, they look, and if they do get to that point, it takes them a few days. They have to look at, you know, 4 or 5 different websites before they decide to call one of them. So what if in that time, we or EventHawk initiated contact with them on your behalf and you didn't have to do anything at all? All you had to do is respond when they text back. How do we do that? Again, there's an incentive behind them giving you their info. With the chat widget, there's no incentive. Netflix gives you a week trial. Amazon gives you a week trial. I know Apple is doing their Apple TV free trial. You go to like Macy's, you know, join our mailing list to get 10% off or something like that. So there's an incentive, and a lot of people, you know, when I first started talking about EventHawk, everybody laughed at me. Everybody, this was maybe almost 2 years ago. People just roasted me. They're like, Tariq, this will never work. You're supposed to be raising your prices. You're giving people discounts. It's a terrible idea. And again, it's not my idea. This is what all the multi-million-dollar companies do, not because they're idiots, because they understand that in order for you to get that valuable information from the customer, you have to give them something in return. If you notice on my website, do you see what my prices were? I'm charging $495 for a combo. Why am I doing that? Because I set my prices high, and then after they give me their information, I give them some kind of promotion to bring it back down. People would rather pay, you know, $300 for a $400 product than $300 for a $300 product. I'm going to say that again. So if you're going to rent a water slide that's $300 for $300, people would rather rent a $400 water slide that's discounted down to $300. So if you want $300 for a water slide, then just charge $350 for it and then give them $50 off. You're going to notice a big increase in bookings because you're still making up the same, but the customer feels smart. They feel like, oh, I got $50 off. I got a deal. So that's essentially what I would recommend you do. You don't have to, you know, give money off. Some people do 50% off the second day. Some people do $10 off a cotton candy machine. It really doesn't matter what you offer, because at the end of the day, the value to them is that communication. That's what happens when you ask a question. I go on a rant. Thank you for asking, Ashley.
What happens after the get coupons button? Like, what exactly happens?
So after they click that, they go to a page on your website that has whatever offer you want to offer, right? You could change it every day if you want. What happens is, while they're still shopping, they get a text message. It says, hey, Sean, this is Tariq from Galaxy Jumpers. You were just on our website looking at rentals. When's your party? Let me see if I have something available for you. So that text automatically goes to them, and they're still on your website. They're still shopping. They may even be on your competitor's website by then, but nothing happens for you. When they text back, you get notified. And again, up to 90% are texting back. Does that answer your question?
Yep.
So I think, Sean, I think you asked the other day, you know, you were running Google ads, and that's a big thing, right? You pay for clicks, and you get a lot of clicks, but then those clicks, it's like, okay, I got 100 clicks and I'm not seeing conversions. That's where EventHawk comes in. EventHawk, we're averaging conversions anywhere from 10 to 40% with EventHawk. Without EventHawk, you're looking at 1 to 3%. No joke. No joke. I can show you guys the numbers. They're really scary, actually. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll show you guys some Google Ads numbers. It'll kind of show you guys how big of an impact it makes in a bit here. But let me take on a few more questions. Don't be shy, guys.
I have a question.
What's up, Justin?
What's that? I tried looking for my shirt, and all I found was this IO one. So hopefully BCN doesn't get mad at me. I just launched my BCN site, but I got the IO shirt on. I love Tim though. So I just put my pop-up on my new website, and then I got like 5 phone calls from people like getting annoyed by the pop-up. So I was more curious because I had it last year where it only popped up on my homepage, but it would still do reoccurring. Like even if the same person looked at it, as long as they go to the homepage, it comes back up. And I've seen a lot of people using it that way. Whereas in going, like if it pops up on every single page, people get really, really annoyed on that, especially on desktop because they have to keep clicking. And I know like immediately when I said turn it off, it was like, you might not get the same effect. Like you know what I mean? You will lose bookings. So is it really that significant if it's like, or is it like, or am I just supposed to just deal with some of the phone calls of people that are annoyed by it because I'm going to get a lot more bookings?
Yeah, I mean, it's totally up to you. You said it best. The pop-up is fully customizable. You can customize how it looks. I mean, so you guys have seen like my pop-up on my website. You see, you know, you can really customize how often it shows up, how annoying I guess it is. But at the end of the day, you know, like this is my pop-up here. It's very basic. This is another form of pop-up here. You guys see it right here. We can make them look like really, really cool and exotic, like this one over here. Every time we've had somebody reach out to us and say, Tariq, I think the pop-up is annoying. Can we slow it down? Yeah, you can, but you're gonna get less leads. The way that we have it built in works really, really well, but it's yours. You know, you're paying us a subscription. You can do whatever you want with the pop-up. You can set it to show up however you want.
It's interesting. Can you make it show up by categories too? Like if I was to do BCN, like not show up in products, but only in categories and on homepage?
Yep. You can set it however you want.
Maybe I'll mess with it some more.
Fully customized. You know, if you're working with us, put it like this. We've worked with more party rental companies than anybody else in the industry on marketing. We've helped more companies than anybody else. So we know how this works, right? So we recommend that you trust us and do things the way that we recommend for you, because we know how it works. You know, we don't charge you commission. You know, we don't, if you make more money, you don't, you know, you're paying me the same amount whether you do well or not, but we want you to do well. So we recommend that you trust the process and leave the recommended settings, but it's your business. So you could set it to however you want.
I see a question in the Facebook comments. Someone's asking about changing like coupons and if we have to contact you or if we do it ourselves. And the answer was change it in the back end of our website. Well, I use BCN. I don't get a whole lot of access to the back end of the website, and I don't want a whole lot of access to the back end of the website. Is there like other ways to do that, or like, can you go more detail of that?
You can set up a code. I have BCN. It's really simple. You can set up a coupon code. So whatever your EventHawk says, like mine says EventHawk, or no, I think it says, I don't remember what it says, but it says something, but when I on the back end, it says EventHawk. So I know that it was the EventHawk code, but the customer sees something else and then they just put in the code. It's super simple on that end. I was talking to Jana. She brought up that she gives off like free overnights. And I have it where everybody charges people $50 for an overnight for an inflatable because I want people to do that. It's an easy $50, but I'm cool with giving them free overnights too. But I was told I have to manually do that with BCN now. So I was trying to figure out like a good way of doing that to add to your question.
Not sure how to do that with BCN. That's a BCN question. But Sean, did you put this page together?
Yeah, I've been working on it. I know I've probably had a lot to do still.
No, I mean, all it is a page like this. So, like, let's look at just in case. So this is your website, Justin.
Yep.
Rat. This is awesome. Like, probably one of the best BCN websites I've seen. But
My logo is missing somehow. I don't know how.
Oh, nice pop-up, bro. So /deals, I think. All right, so here we go. So this is after they click the pop-up. This is where they go. So it's just we can make you a page on EventHawk so it's not on your BCN website, but you want it to match, So after I click the pop-up, it takes me to fill out the form here. And then after I fill out the form, I go to this page. It says, mention this offering it free overnight on your rental. So notice it's a BCN page, very easy, like simple text. If you want to change the deal, all you got to do is just change this text. That's it. Again, we can build you a page within EventHawk so they don't have to go here, but you would rather have them stay on your website, stay, so that your brand is still strong.
You look what?
Sorry?
You look sick to me.
All right, somebody's not muted. But yeah, you'd rather have them stay on your
Really?
website. The branding stays consistent and they don't go to like a blank page with nothing on it. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, that makes a little bit more sense.
Yep. All right, who else has questions?
It's me again, Tariq. I'm sorry, Ashley.
Hey, Ashley.
When the customer fills out the form, do they manually have to put the coupon code into the reservation page?
Yes, so you give them a coupon code and they would have to input it. They'd have to copy it and put it in when they check out. Now, the funny thing is, most people who use EventHawk will tell you that most customers actually, or a lot of customers, forget to use the coupon code.
Yep.
And you're like, wait, what? Again, when we first started this, people like literally ripped me apart. They're like, Tariq, you shouldn't be giving discounts. It's a terrible idea. But again, what happened was people will fill out the form. They'll get the pop-up, or they'll get the coupon code, and then a few minutes later they'll get a text. A lot of times within that time they've already left your website and went to your competitor's website or their competitor's website. So when you send them or when they see the code, or when you text them, they really forget who you were. They're like, who's texting me? I've been on 3-4 websites today. One of them is texting me. And you're like, no, well, my name is Galaxy Jumpers. Well, sorry to tell you, all of our names mesh together once these people are looking at all of these different websites. So,
Oh yeah.
So they really don't know who's texting them. They totally forget about the coupon, because remember, when they're renting a $300, $400, $500 product and you're giving them $10 off, it's not a big incentive for them to stop what they're doing and go book it. So a lot of people will screenshot it or forget about it. But then when you text them, they ask all these questions and then they start the booking process without really knowing it, because you assume the sale. So to answer your question, yeah, they do have to put it in, but a lot of times they don't even end up using the coupon. My favorite part of EventHawk is the templates. We already give you built-in templates that help you sell. After you sign up, we do a training with you on Zoom and we show you how to use it. Again, we've got hundreds of people in the party rental industry already using this, and we already built templates to help you sell. I'm going to be very honest with this. You guys don't take this the wrong way. A lot of you guys are terrible, terrible salesmen. You guys don't know how to sell because you're not sellers, right? And that's okay. You guys are caregivers, or your moms, or you come from other industries, but you don't know how to sell. So within EventHawk, we have built-in templates for when they say this, say that. You can automate them, or you can manually use them, but they essentially will help you lead the conversation to the sale. So I'll give you a perfect example. When somebody gives you their date, they say, hey, my party is March 16. You never want to say, hey, well, what do you want to rent? Terrible idea. When you do that, most people will not even respond back. Don't ask me why, but we've split tested a bunch of stuff, and we find that you have to word it in a certain way in order to get them to respond, to get them to book, and that's already built in with EventHawk. You get it initially from day one.
I have a question, Tariq.
ma'am.
Does the coupon codes change? Or is there one like specific coupon code that you make, or how does that work? I currently do not have EventHawk yet.
Yeah, so like I said, do you have a website?
In the process.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, it's just a page on your website. So you could put the coupon code, right here. You create your own coupon code and you could change it whenever you want.
Thank you.
No problem.
Hey Tariq, how you doing? This is Curtis. I was sorry. Can you hear me?
Hear you. Go ahead, Curtis.
Can you hear me? Oh, sorry. So in regards to the actual coupon code, you adding that page to the website. Say, for example, they had the pop-ups, and just like the other gentleman was talking about, the pop-ups were just too much. They were annoyed. Is that page still accessible? Like, are they able to like get into the coupon page on your website?
Only if they type in the URL, but yeah, by default, we don't link it to any kind of navigation. You can, but
Yeah, you could navigate it.
you could. It just doesn't work, honestly. Like I said, what we have works. If you want to go in and change everything and make it, more convenient for you, you can. But by default, the settings work really well. So my recommendation, everybody, is do it my way for the first couple weeks, and then make changes and see the difference.
Okay, I want an honest answer. Maybe some other people in here. When's a good time to start using? Because I want to use EventHawk, definitely. I have 5 units, super small. When's a really good time to actually start using it? Like just now? Because one of my fears is that EventHawk is going to work so well, and I'm gonna be pulling out my hair, and I'm just brand new at this. I'm just gonna get overwhelmed. So, like, your opinion, like, when's a good time to start using it?
Are your units booked out?
I just got my website went up a week ago, and past couple of days I've got my first 2 bookings, so
You
I'm
just
not
started
booked
your
up.
business this year?
Yes.
How many people are in your area?
In Tulsa, so quite a few.
Just do it.
Right now.
Just
That's
go
the
go
answer.
right for it. You'll book right out. Just go for it.
Exactly.
You
That's
need to
my
use
fear.
it now. I only have about 8 units and it works very well for me. So you need to
Yeah.
get it now.
Okay.
If it was like 3 months ago, I would say, like, you know what I mean? Wait until like now, but now, dude, now.
Do not
Okay.
wait. Let Tariq get your site up and running. I promise you, brother, you won't regret it. That money's gonna fly in and you ain't gonna even have enough time. I promise you.
It's honestly, you're gonna like it too. It's not just a funnel. It's a different way, a more efficient way of doing business. If you really like, you can hook up your Facebook, you can hook up your Instagram, you can hook up your emails, your text messages, all going to one single place. So all you have to do is open up one app and answer your phone, and that's it. Instead of going to all those different places and on Google My Business to answer all these different things. Now you're able to schedule posts. So you really don't even need to go into the Meta Business app really anymore. Like,
Right.
yeah,
Cool.
no, it's a no-brainer.
The service
thank you.
pays for itself. We started using it last year, and I was really reluctant. But Tariq offered us like a 30-day guarantee, and it was definitely guaranteed. It was a game changer for us, and I do not regret it. The sooner you get on it, the better familiar you are with because it has so many options. So you get more familiar with it the sooner you get the opportunity to log in and take advantage of that guarantee. I'm sorry, Tariq, I'm not sure if you're still doing that 30-day guarantee anymore, but
I was just about to
it
ask.
was something. Yeah, it was something that got me, to get on board, and I'm sorry that I was so reluctant then, but it's been helpful to our business. The amount of people that my wife quit her job. She just manages the amount of messages because she instantly has to start inputting the orders soon after. So it's a game changer. It doesn't matter what size business you are in. It's going to be beneficial. the sooner the better. I would tell anybody to get on it.
Cool. Thank you.
Everybody who just recommended EventHawk, meet me in the parking lot so I can pay you guys. I'm kidding.
I had a good question. This is William with Jumpin' Jacks Entertainment. On the whole subject of getting more bookings, how do we get more bookings during the week? You know, the units are, you know, packed every weekend, but majority of the week they're sitting there, you know, doing nothing. How do we get more rentals during the week?
I do like a $25 or $50 discount depending on the unit during the week. Like if you pull up my website, it'll literally tell you the weekday prices and then the regular prices, and then it also tells you like multiple day prices and everything.
I have a very strong opinion with this. Now I tell you guys always, you know, if you watched any of my videos, I always tell you, you have to stop being an opinion-driven business owner. You got to transition to becoming a data-driven business owner. You can have an opinion about something, and no offense to you, Justin, I'm the same way. I've had opinions for years. Oh, I'm going to do this and this is going to work great. And I never track the numbers, and I may do it for years and I really don't know how it works. And I may even share it with other people and I don't know if it's really working. So what I found, and this is, I'm going to give you full disclosure. This is my opinion based on the data. When you offer a weekday special, everybody in the industry, we all think we're so smart. We offer weekday specials. It doesn't work. Why? Because I'm planning my daughter's birthday on the weekend. I already invited everybody on the weekend. I want a bounce house for the weekend. You're offering me a weekday special. That's going to piss me off because I can't get it, right? I'm going to call you and say, hey, can you give me the weekday special on the weekend? Because I've already, you know, my kids are off on the weekend. All my guests are going to come on the weekend. Now, I have an opinion, something, because I did this last year. We got a handful of weekday bookings every week last year. We ran a Facebook special and it worked, but was dropping the bucket compared to everything else. So this year, I have a new idea. In EventHawk, after they book with me, after they book and they pay, right? 30 days, I'm going to set up an automation in EventHawk. 30 days after their party, I'm going to send them a text and say, hey, for being a loyal customer, we want to tell you about our weekday special. Book again with us. They already had their birthday party. It's summertime. Book again with us, and we're going to give you, I don't know, 2 days for the price of one or something like that. That's our weekday special, because again, now they're going to rent it for fun, not because they have a party. They're going to rent it for their kids and their cousins or their kids and their friends. So I think that if I set up that automation where, you know, if I have 30 bookings this weekend, in 30 days, all 30 of those are going to get a text message automatically that's going to say, hey, book with us again, and we're going to give you 2 days for the price of one during the week or something like that. I think that would work better than offering something for somebody who's already planning for the weekend. This is my opinion. I don't know if it'll work. Next year, we'll have this conversation again, and I'll tell you guys if it worked or not. But that's something that I think makes more sense than what we all do.
So how do you separate the data between between that and retargeting? If they do the weekend book, like the actual weekdays and stuff, because that's like a whole retargeting thing to people that didn't just book on weekdays or anything like that in general. Like people should be doing that regardless for all kinds of retargeting. But I'm talking about like new customers coming to your site. I feel like if it's not a birthday party, they'll try and manage during the week or something if it's during the holidays. But that's the only times it works. Weekday rentals are for schools.
Select all the combinations.
So unpopular opinion, I disagree with some of that. We do a lot of like 2 days for the price of one during the week, and we get a lot of backyard, you know, parties just for people wanting to entertain their kids. We're in Florida too, though. I mean, maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know, but pretty much like every single week of the summer, you know, we have weekday rentals, a combination of backyard and then like summer camps or vacation Bible school or, you know, something like that.
I think it depends on how long you've been in business. You know, Jana, you've been in business like 10, 11 years. You have a big customer base, so a lot of these people know you. But if you're newer or, you know, kind of medium, again, I think if you're targeting the right people, which are people who have a party scheduled for a weekend, it's going to be a hard sell to get them to do a weekday. So I think that that's counterproductive to offer, again, my opinion. I could be totally wrong. The only way we've done very well with weekday rentals is through Facebook ads. We ran a Facebook ad targeting all the moms in our area, and we just kept showing them our weekday special. And these are probably moms who don't have a party coming up, right? We kind of, like Inception, we put that idea in their head after seeing it so many times. They're like, oh, you know, kids are off this week, might as well rent something. But whenever we've tried to go ahead and get somebody to change their date, again, they usually come to us with a date already in mind. So if
Those
it's
are post.
but
Those are posted ads, or those are retargeted ads?
targeting ads, we target like within like a
Okay.
10-mile radius. We target everybody,
Yep.
all the females with, you know, between a certain age and stuff like that.
Yeah, you did your own specific group. You didn't do retargeting. I gotta get you to do my pixel one of these days. It's in the works.
You can do retargeting too, but again, you know, retargeting, if you're retargeting people who were on your website already, again, chances are they were on your website because they have a date in mind.
No, I wouldn't use. That's what I was saying. I wouldn't use it for retargeting, but for targeting just moms, that's a good idea.
Again,
Yeah,
I'm
but I mean,
in Chicago, so my market may be different than you guys.
couldn't you just use, I mean, so there's people that don't want to use a coupon or whatever. I mean, don't want to offer a dollar amount off. So they don't want to put, you know, a special or whatever because they don't want to lose money. They don't have packages, so they don't want to link them to their packages page. Couldn't you just say, I mean, the deal is behind the pop-up, so why not just offer 10% off or whatever you want for a weekday? I mean, that solves the problem of not.
Wait, you have people that just go to people's specials?
No. I just mean like, okay, so you on the pop-up, you know, it says like click here to save or flash sale happening now or whatever. So it doesn't matter. The person has no idea what's going to be back there. So if you don't want to do $10 off or free overnight or whatever, then why not just make yourself a whatever weekday special, whatever dollar amount you want it to be. So when they click on it, you still have their information. You can still try to sell them, but the coupon doesn't apply to their, you know, particular scenario because it's a weekend party.
That's what I liked about you saying with the overnight stuff. I like that, but I can't automatically do it in BCN. But you just mentioned sending people just to your party packages page. Like, people do that?
Yeah, we have tons of clients that do that.
But Vanessa, you're gonna kill me. I've just been messaging. She's been messing with my pop-up for like the past 3 days. This will be like the 4th time she changed.
I'm gonna start charging you for that, man.
Hey Justin, just keep on making me a list. I'll fix it.
It's like I don't like. At one point, I wasn't even messaging you, and you're just like hearing me talk. And you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna do it."
Vanessa's awesome, and for everybody,
Vanessa's on point.
For those of you guys who don't know, most of the people who work for EventHawk are actually party rental business owners or their spouses. EventHawk started again with just me building this thing for myself. And then Jana was one of my first customers who was using EventHawk, and she was totally against it. We laugh about it all the time. I offered her EventHawk for like 6 months, and she kept saying, no, I was doing her Google ads. And I was like, Jana, I got this thing. Your Google ads aren't converting. She's like, it's fine. Our Google ads have never been better. I'm like, yeah, but out of every 100 clicks, you're only getting 1 booking. She's like, it's fine. You don't know what you're talking about. It wasn't until the season ended in like October when she actually gave me the time of day and actually tried it. And she's like, Tariq, you got to tell everybody about this. I'm like, no, it's just something I want to offer to my Google ads clients. She's like, no, you got to tell everybody. And December 1st that year, she pretty much forced me to launch EventHawk and push it. And the rest is history. Now we've got like over 700 people in the EventHawk members group. So we pretty much everybody that started working with EventHawk was a similar story. They were a customer, and then they're like, Tariq, you know, they started promoting us everywhere. They're like, Tariq, if you ever need help, my wife or my husband can work. And that's really important for you guys to know that the team behind EventHawk is not a bunch of nerds per se. We're smart, but we're also people who have party rental business experience. We did the math one time. All of us combined have like 80 or 90 years combined in party rental industry experience. So it's important because the people that are going to be working on you, helping you grow for $3 a day are really experienced. And we have people text us sometimes, and most of our support is done through text. We hate email because We hate the idea of emailing to ask a question, having to wait 24 hours to hear back. We usually text back within 5 minutes, and people will text us, hey guys, what dolly do you think I should buy? Or how big of a generator do I need for this or that? And we love answering those questions because this is what we do, you know? So it's really, really awesome because there's nothing else in the industry that was built for party rental business owners by party rental business owners to this magnitude. So it's really, really exciting. We have the best team out there. So any of you guys out there, Jana, Vanessa, anybody else, love you guys. You guys are.
I like to say that EventHawk isn't just about EventHawk, it's also a community. Like people will ask me for help on an inflatable office or whatever, conversations, just a service that we have.
Yeah, we don't advertise that, but we do end up doing a lot of support help for BCN and inflatable office, but we don't advertise that. We shouldn't be. So we keep telling them they gotta get like us.
Yeah, this is William again. I just wanted to thank everybody tonight for the information.
You're welcome, William. Hope I answered your question.
Yeah, definitely gave some more insight to the situation. So trial and error, and we'll see where she goes.
Yep, 100%. Trial and error, man.
Thank
That's the
you.
way to go. So we have a few more minutes, guys. Anybody have any party rental related questions or booking, marketing? What questions do you guys have on anything related to marketing or getting more bookings? I've made every mistake out there you can imagine. I've made it, so I can help you guys.
Did you show the tents? Did you show the tent thing that you made that you're doing at all for ads and whatnot?
Nope. We didn't go that far.
Pop it up.
Can we talk about templates for a second? I just got a couple of messages from customers that they don't have their mic on, and then someone else that just doesn't want to talk. So can we talk about templates and how we can help with that, that sales process?
Okay.
And how do we get into schools? I saw a question on Facebook about that.
Walk right into them. Walk right in there with a pamphlet. And then ask for who's doing the events. Like don't be shy.
All right.
We had better.
Everybody like intruder alert.
You ring the doorbell first.
Anybody? We had good luck with mailers for school. If anybody wants the letter that we mail to the school, just put it in the comments on Facebook. I can get it for you. Or actually, just text the word Hawk to that same number, and we'll send you all of our resources, all of our letters and spreadsheets and videos. So it's here. I'll share my screen, and then I answer the template question. So if you text the word Hawk to this same phone number, then we will send you all of our videos and resources. There's also a letter there that I've mailed to schools, and it helped us grow a very strong school customer base just from mailing them that letter. It works really, really well. So
like a physical letter, right?
A physical letter, yeah. Whenever I walked into schools, I don't think they ever did anything with my mailer or my flyer. I don't know who got to, but
I got a big mouth.
So if you text the word Hawk, so it's HAWK, that'll to this number. So take a screenshot. That will send you all of our resources. And if you text the word grow, that will send you how to get started with EventHawk. And when you get EventHawk, you can do these kind of automations too. You can say text the word party to our number to get blah, 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 blah. You put that on your lawn signs and stuff. Jana, was there a specific question about templates, or what was the actual question?
A little bit ago, you said something about like trying it our way, and then they can change it if they don't like it, or they don't want it. So I was saying, like use a template instead of changing what you say, use a template as your response, and just make that your response every single time, unless they say something other than their date or whatever.
Right. So when you get really good at generating leads or communications, you end up saying the same thing over and over to people. You might have had to copy and paste. with EventHawk, we already give you pre-built templates that we've built to help the hundreds of other people using it. But like Jana said, you can also build your own. So for example, within EventHawk, we already have templates to help you sell people so that when they say, do you have availability? You don't just want to say yes, right? That ends the conversation. There's a psychology behind it. I used to be a telemarketer. I used to get hung up on a lot. So I learned how to get people to stay on the phone with me. And that's what I built into EventHawk. Those templates are already there. But we also have templates for when people say your price is too expensive, right? A lot of you by default just want to ignore the conversation or tell them go book with somebody else. But there's a way to guide that conversation in a positive way to where they still might book with you, because these people are not jerks. These people are parents. They want to make sure that they're getting the value. And if they tell you that your price is too high, this you may disagree with me, but I'm going to get a lot of flack for what I'm about to say. That to me, to myself, I'm going to talk about myself. If somebody says my price is too high, I've done a bad job showing them my value. It's not their fault. It's because they don't realize what the value is. They think they get a bounce house. Now, let me show you what I did on my website to build up value. Number one thing you can do is get a lot of reviews, right? Whenever somebody tells me my price is too high, I have a template on my website that says, you know what? I understand that price is a big factor, but here are 500 plus of your neighbors, or 500 of your neighbors. We have over 500 reviews. We say, hey, here's 500 of your neighbors who say that our prices are totally worth it. And we send them a link to our reviews, and they start scrolling through them, and they see that these are all recent reviews from people who are nearby, who are mentioning their city and stuff. That's a template. So I don't know if that answers your question, Jana, but there's a easy, not an easy way, but within the EventHawk community, we're always building different templates, different responses, so to help you with these kind of things, so that you're really maximizing, making the most out of every single click.
I really like that idea of, you know, selling you and telling them why you're the best out there. I just think that's really awesome. We are brand new, so we definitely have very little reviews, but we definitely want to get to that level because that really speaks volumes.
Listen, if you're brand new, then guess what? Your bounce houses don't smell. Sell that. Your bounce houses are clean. Sell that. There's a cliche out there about the smelly bounce house. That's not you. It's okay. Don't be ashamed of being new. I regret that. I'll tell you, if I can go back and I was brand new, you know what I would do? I would look at all my competitors. I would look at their prices, and I would price myself just like my highest competitor, my most expensive competitor, or even higher, because my stuff is newer. And then I would say, hey, we have a grand opening special, and then mark my price down. A lot of you new guys, you say, Tariq, there's no way I could charge $400 for a water slide. I have to charge $200. Charge $400 and then do $200 off if you have to. I don't recommend that. I mean, every area is different, but it's better to do that than to lowball your industry. This way they see the value. They see that it's worth $400, but I'm getting it for $200 versus it's $200, right? So do that. You know, do a grand opening special. Scream it everywhere. We have the cleanest, newest bounce houses in the area, and we have a grand opening special for a limited time. People come running like crazy.
So people once told me, like, that the easiest way to explain that is you cannot raise your prices on a customer mid-sale, but you can always lower them. So if you start high, you have room to negotiate and go down. But if you start at 200 and they want to play negotiator, you can't just say, oh, well, you said 150 and I'm just going to say 250. They're going to hang up on you. But back to the templates too. I want to reiterate this because I like that every time this is like brought up, I always bring this up. Videos. You can literally tag a YouTube video in your templates and just automatically send them videos. How do you, the cotton candy machine seems difficult. How do I use it? Here's a video right here. You can look at it before you even rent it. Even now, you just save that video. Now use it on the day of your party. When they text me or call me, how do I use the snow cone machine? Like, here, I'll send you this video real quick. You know what I mean? This way I don't have to explain it 20 different times and you can see what's going on. And I'm like, you can actually visually see it. And they'll love that a million times. Don't say, hey, I don't have time to talk to you. Let me send you this video. That's not how you say it. You just say, I have the perfect way to educate you. Here's a video. You can watch it over and over again. If you still have any questions, give me a call, but here's the link. Like I just think that the video aspect is like really, really underdone. And you don't have to make videos yourself too. You can get them from other people that make them for the industry.
Hey, I have another question, Tariq. Well, everybody, I want to ask everybody this because there was a lot of confliction. What a lot of people, I had asked a question and a lot of people were like going crazy on me on the party rental knowledge group. Does everybody look at their market? You know, do you always look at your competitors' prices and go from there? I'm super conflicted about this because like Christopher was saying, why would you pick their price to begin with? So, you know, and it goes hand in hand. Everything goes hand in hand. So in order for us to determine our prices, how do we provide these coupons, these sales go up and then, you know, offer coupons to go back down? How do you guys, instead of looking at competition, how do you guys price without your market?
Ashley, hold on, Jared. Real quickly, I'm only going to say one thing tonight. I agree with you on that one. I think everybody needs to look at every competitor around them and their prices and adjust yours accordingly, but do not sell yourself short. You're going to have low ballers, you're going to have high ballers. If you want to be in the middle, that's fine. I prefer to be up towards the top end and work my way backwards. But yes, I agree with you, and I think everybody should look at your competitors' prices and what your competitors are doing to adjust to what you are doing with it.
I think it's a hot topic, Ashley. I don't agree with what you were told. I don't even think I said anything on that because I feel like there are a lot of people in the event and party industry that aren't bounce house operators. So they have, every business is different. Every industry is different. Just because somebody has a party business that doesn't have inflatables, they don't know what competition is like. If the person that I think that you're talking about, I love that person, but his business model is not super competitive. He doesn't have 30 people in a 30-mile radius doing the same exact thing that he is. So it's super easy to say, don't pay attention, just ignore it. But like Mark said, I agree. I want to be knowledgeable. I want to have an idea about what's going on around me and what my potential clients are seeing other places. Does that mean that I'm going to be, you know, try to beat everybody or be the lowest or whatever? No, I'm the highest in my market by a lot. And I am A-okay with that. But I sure know, you know, every 6 months I'll go take a look at my competitor's page and see that he's bought something, you know, like mine that's a knockoff from China, or you know, his combos are $195 and my cheapest is like $230 and my most expensive is $320. And I'm like, please just raise your prices a little bit, because there's such a huge gap. But I do think that you need to educate yourself and you need to be aware so you can get in front of those things like people complaining about your price, or, you know, saying, well, this company has this, or, you know, whatever, just so you're not blindsided. I mean, knowledge is power, and that's all you're doing is, you know, making yourself aware and then, you know, learning what you feel like you're worth.
There's a whole nother aspect to this too that like I want to bring into. I was talking to some people in Florida and they're like, well, how am I supposed to raise my prices? They're already high. And they showed me this website. And I looked on the website, it said book for, or I mean, or secure for $129. So, and that's all the prices were like $129 and $169. And it was like a 20-foot water slide and stuff. And then like, they're like, well, how am I supposed to compete with these prices? I go on the website. I'm like, well, this is not even their whole sales model is totally different because they're making themselves look like they're cheap, but that's just a deposit. is the 150. They're not getting a whole 20-foot water slide for 150, so you don't have to put yours for 200. Like, see, that's what they were doing. And I'm like, that's, you know what I mean? Because they were misrepresenting what the actual sale, like, there's so many different ways to do sales. And like, you know what I mean? If you start high, you can go low. Some people start right at the price because they don't want to negotiate. Like my competitor right now is like, his prices are like $200 more than mine right now. But then I just heard he lowballed the school and undercut one of our local competitors. So it's like, I don't even know what's going on at that company. You know what I mean? So like, you can look, but don't base things off it. They might have extra equipment that you don't. You know what I mean? You might be hand bombing things out of the back of a truck, and they got a whole trailer so they can do their delivery at $20, or you know what I mean, or free delivery because they got 10 times the amount of space on the truck, so they could, you know what I mean, their deliveries. They're not doing 2 or 3 deliveries out of the back of a trailer. There's all these things you need to take into account when you're actually looking at people's prices. I like to look at prices and see what is the highest people are getting in the market. So I know that I at least, like, you know what I mean? They're getting that much, so I can at least get that much. That's the way I at least like to look at it. I definitely do not look at the lower people and see what they're doing, because they might, like, then you also have the factor of this person's doing $100 bounce houses, but he's got 3. So they're going to be rented out quick to the hood. So how is that even, that's not even your clientele or your customer base. So it's like, doesn't matter, you know what I mean? Doesn't even matter really. I don't even want to be over there. I go wherever the money is, you know what I mean? I don't care if it's in a hood or not. But
Justin,
what's
so
up?
check this out. So after we were talking about that on your group.
Yep.
So this is the way I strategize my website, my business. I know my husband can set up a 13 by 13 in like in 10 minutes, right? It's easy. It's super easy. He's been doing it for years, right?
Yep.
So my 13 by 13s are $150 excluding tax and delivery. Altogether, they're about $185.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that's reasonable because I know that his work is less than 5 minutes. He's like, easy peasy. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Our competitors are $185 plus taxes and delivery.
Oh, you got
You know
room
what
to
I'm
go
saying?
up then.
Right. So
You're leaving
I've
money on
got
the
room to
table,
go
that's
up.
what they say. You know what I mean? You
Now,
got room.
however,
How many units do you have?
sorry, what?
How many units do you have?
I have 22. I
Oh
have
yeah,
22
you're
units.
fine. Yeah, you're fine.
So, but check this out. So when customers reach out to me, and everybody has this customer, and you can agree with me, Jana, here. Everybody has this customer that says, what is your cheapest bounce house? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes, right?
Every
Everybody's like,
That's every
they're
business.
looking for the deal, right? So me, I'm like, well, my cheapest is $150 plus delivery and taxes. So when they start shopping, they're seeing $185, $190, right?
So I see a lot
guess
of people.
what?
I see what
I
you're saying.
close them. Right. I close them with the 13 by 13 $150 deal. However, my combos, my water slides, everything above a 13 by 13 is matched accordingly. Does that make sense? That's my strategy is like,
Yeah,
well, they
that's
have
your low
affordable
ticket
rates.
off. So with that, like how many single regular bounce houses, 13 by 13s do you have?
Damn, I don't know. I think I have like 4.
Okay, so
5.
why not just put one at 150 and raise the rest to 165, the oldest looking one? So you still have that $150 option, but you can still make all the money you're losing on the table on those other units, because that's all you're looking for is to have that 150 option.
And usually they do. They usually bump it back up to that $200 combo because they want the slide. You know what I mean? They're
No,
like,
I'm saying that
for
if you have
50
4
bucks
regular
more.
ones, why not just put one at 150 so you could still say you have 100 of your cheapest bounce house is 150, but it's really just one bounce house, and now you're making $15 more possibly each rental on those 3 for the rest of the season, and still have that tactic.
Can I pop in real quick?
Right.
Who was the original lady that brought up the subject about the pricing and looking at the
She's
different
talking,
competitors?
Ashley. She was just talking, Ashley.
Okay. What
Yeah,
you just
it's
said,
me.
Justin, is absolutely a true fact with a lot of these companies that you think are low ballers I know for a fact we have one in my area. I have 11 competitors in a 15-mile circle of me. And I know one for a fact advertises bounce houses at $109. That's one bounce house. When that bounce house is rented out, their bounce houses go up to 145. So it's a trick that a lot of them do. And especially the newbies need to be careful not to fall into, oh my God, my neighbor's renting bounce houses for $99 and I want $150. Well, I can promise you they have probably only one at that price.
Or it'll be that
put
price
you in the door.
Delivery too.
And
Like,
then
you can stop and have that one.
the next bouncers, like Justin was saying, raises higher. So it's still good though. It is still absolutely a good thing to look at your competitors, see what they offer, look at their Google ads, see what they're throwing out there. And I've even found competitors have other people that don't even live around them advertise for them. Like if somebody wants a bounce house on Facebook, you got 35 people throwing their name out there, and they're not even from here. They're from other parts of the country. But they advertise a small price on Facebook just to get that person in. I personally don't worry about them kind of people. And I think for newbies, if you really want to get started, don't start at the low end. Put yourself up there. Get yourself to where you know you're not going to work. You're going to kill yourself, and you're going to have pennies on a dollar. You want to have more than pennies on a dollar when you get done with the end of the day. So the low ballers, I really think you should, if you're a newbie, I don't know if you are, but if you are, or any of you listening, I truly believe after 19 years of doing this and the frustration and the aggravation and the worrying of, oh my God, these people are renting so cheap. They got 20-foot water sleds for $175. How the hell am I going to compete? I don't lose sleep over them no more. You might lose one rental, but you're going to pick up the next one.
I'm gonna say one more thing. Oh, I'm sorry, Moon Man. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, that's okay. I just was going to say, price yourself higher than what you think you're worth. Not by much, but you're going to be surprised. You will be surprised.
So one thing, I'm going to talk to the new community too. So a lot of these people that post the 150 deal with tables and chairs, I always tell them, you never know how long this rental is. A lot of them are like 3 hours. So if they want it extra, that's another 150. You just never know what's up their sleeve. So don't fall for that either. Like, you don't know if they mean all day or just 3 hours, or they say 150 for this and this and this and that. There are people that do it low, but you never know what's up their sleeve. That's just, remember, it's like a marketing scheme. It's like offering that coupon. It's a funnel. So they just want you to click to get engagement first, and then they start explaining how they conduct their business. That's all I wanted to say.
That is a very good point you just put out there. Especially, ventured people, Jana, me, Tariq, Justin, Cobus, Al Sanchez, them guys, we've been in it way too long to know. You newbie guys, you just said something that really actually probably should be used with everybody. Don't hide. Be straightforward with your prices, what they're getting, what it's for, the time, and the amount. Don't give them oh yeah, I got a $19.99 bounce house, and then all of a sudden they get the invoice and it's $139.99. It might only be $20 more, but it's like, whoa, what happened here? Don't hide. That's the worst thing you can do, is to be open, be honest with your pricing, be honest with what you are giving with that pricing, and they either take it or they don't. You have no choice of if they take it or not. But if you're open, you're honest with them from the start to the finish, you're going to get a repeat customer.
I also think that where your customers are coming from plays a big part of that. If you're advertising on Marketplace, if you're posting in Facebook groups, generally that clientele is a much lower end clientele. Whereas when you're advertising on Google, you're advertising to people that are seeking out your services. There are price shoppers on Google, but not nearly as many as you're going to find on Marketplace and in Facebook groups, because those places are where you're just broadcasting, all your information and just hoping that somebody who is looking sees it, where Google is a totally different beast, and Google is helping you find people who are searching specifically for your services. So you'll find as you grow that regardless of what your prices are, as soon as you start attracting a higher end clientele, you're not going to have as many of those what's your cheapest. You'll still have them, but they'll be few and far between compared to everyday occurrences all day long at this point.
100% agree with Jana and take her advice to the hilt right there.
I have an EventHawk question.
Sure, Tamika.
Hi everyone. My company's name is Cloud9 Inflatables and Events, and I've had EventHawk because I'm very new. So I've had EventHawk early on. My question is, I was in your last roundtable, and I kind of wanted to get clarity on when I get a lead through EventHawk, I was just texting back. I wasn't actually setting orders up, and I wasn't using templates. So whenever I want to know, every lead that comes through the system, are you automatically just going in and just setting orders up every time you pretty much get a lead? Or no, like, am I understanding that right? Because I thought I heard you say you're automatically going in and setting bookings up for them. Did I get that right, Jana? Or okay.
What booking software do you have, Tamika?
Now I have BCN. I came from ERS.
Okay. So I used to have ERS. I now have Inflatable Office. If a customer comes through EventHawk, this is probably unpopular opinion again, but if a customer comes through EventHawk, I book the order for them. They were just on your website. They had been on, that text message that goes out after 5 minutes. So my logic is, if this person was just on my website, it's been 5 minutes, I don't have an order from them, I don't have a quote from them, and they're ready to book, we have this conversation and they're ready to book, why in the world would I want to risk losing them by sending them back to my website where they were just? So when the lead comes into EventHawk, you already have their name, you already have their phone number, and you already have their email address. And at this point, you probably already have their party date, because that's the first question that it asks. So I just ask the simple questions. What's your address? Is it going to be set up on grass? And can you confirm, your phone number or whatever? Because sometimes people are weird. But I literally booked over $100,000 in orders through EventHawk last year. That did not check out on my website.
Gotcha.
If I didn't handhold all those people, maybe 50% of them would have, eventually made it back to my website, but that's still $50,000. Like, no way. Like, I'll take that 5 minutes out of my day. It's worth it.
See, that, I feel like that's what the misconception here is with everybody. Like, yes, you're texting your customers, but that means you can handle more people at once and be more efficient at once. Like, you get one phone call and you're stuck on the phone and you're doing the same thing. It doesn't mean you're not gonna be taking care of your customers because you have EventHawk. That's not.
I agree.
Yeah, what?
You said something that I think is really, really important and that people need to always think about.
Yeah, the best way to explain it. I'm sorry to cut you off. The best way I can explain it is it's a different way of doing business. It doesn't mean you're like you're not gonna stop catering to your customers. It's just easier to cater to more customers.
Right. And if you miss a phone call, okay, let's talk about this. if you're on the phone with a client, okay, you're on the phone for 15 minutes because Sally wants to tell you about Bobby and blah, 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 blah. And somebody calls and 15 or 20 minutes later, you call that person back. I cannot tell you how many times the response from that person is, oh, I booked somewhere else. And I'm like, oh. And so EventHawk helps with that because you're trying to capture them, you know, in the early stages. They've got the text message, all these things. So you're not on the phone as much. That was like one of my favorite things about EventHawk. You know, when I first started using it, I told Tariq, I'm like, my phone, like, it rings, don't get me wrong, but it does not ring near as much. And so now it's to the point where like my phone rings and I almost like cringe because I'm so spoiled that these customers are coming through EventHawk, which I love because just like Justin just said, I can have a text conversation with 5 different people at the same time versus a 15 or 20-minute phone call with one person at a time. And who knows, you know, if what I miss or lose while I'm doing that.
Okay, I guess I was just sending text messages back and forth, and you know, I was communicating with them that way and asking if they, you know, had any other questions. I guess where I was dropping the ball at, I just wasn't putting the actual bookings in the system. You know, I was just allowing them to do that. So now I would just close the calls and already, you know, kind of have it already set up for them, and they can just give me the credit card information. So that's, I guess I wasn't closing as many deals because I was just referring them back to the website.
Yeah, I did that too. It's such a dirty thing to do. I did a bunch though. It works, but not as nearly as much as just closing them.
Yeah, I don't take their credit card information, Tamika. And I don't know how you have your BCN set up, but I send them like, well, in ERS it would be like a full-blown order. Inflatable Office, I can send them a quote or an order. BCN, I think you can just send them an order and then they can use the payment link to make the payment if you have it set up that way. So that's what I do.
You can use you can send them an invoice.
I think I do.
Okay.
Oh, you can't. Okay,
I don't want to deal with all the credit
learning.
card information. I just want their basic information, what unit they want, send it over to them, and then, you know, they can do the rest. But
gotcha.
Hopefully next week, I'll have a Zoom and I'll share a ton of templates with you guys, which at first I didn't like. I told Trick, I was like, I don't like these templates. They make me really uncomfortable. Now I'm like, I love the templates because it creates a process. And like Justin said, it saves you so much time. It's like one big giant, you know, like hub for all your communication. And it just becomes like second nature. Like you're just whipping them out. Like it's no longer like extra work when you perfect your process.
Okay. Yeah, I was sending manual text messages. I wasn't even sending the templates that's in EventHawk. I was literally conversating, just text messaging back and forth. That's all. Yeah.
I'll get like some big orders and stuff through the text messages and be like, hey, do you want to just call? I'll talk to them on the phone too. I'll weed them out. Because then you're in and out. It's upsell. You know, I could turn this $1,000 order into a $3,000 order. Like, just because. You know what I mean?
Thank you guys for that. I didn't know.
Yeah, this is William with Jumpin' Jacks. I hope I'm not asking you to repeat something that we've already went over, but in regards to EventHawk, when you guys go ahead and send out that message and then it comes back to us, during the times that we're unavailable in the evenings while people sleep or at family time, is there something set up through EventHawk that will take over your behalf on that and send an
We just
automated
watched the movie and then play video games.
Yes, there is. Tariq, you want to answer that?
There can be, I don't recommend it. You can have an automated responder set up. We can easily add that to you. So where if they text you after a certain time, it'll text them back saying, you've reached us after hours. We'll respond when we're open between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. Highly do recommend you guys do that, because if you do that, you give away that you are using an automation. And what I learned the hard way is that people hate bots. People hate automation. The whole reason that EventHawk works is because they feel that they're talking with a human. We designed it that way. And for the most part, they are. But the minute that you put some kind of automation in it, people just stop responding. So to answer your question, yes, you can do that. But my recommendation would be just don't text them back till the next day. Just leave it unread, text them back the next day, and they'll totally understand.
Totally
So the
agree.
way that the system is set up is your texts only go out between a certain time frame. So we're going to just use 9 to 5 as an example. So you can customize that yourself. So if they fill out your pop-up between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. or whatever, they're going to get the text message. If they fill it out after 5 o'clock, they're not going to get that text message until 9 o'clock the next morning because we set hours.
Mine's
So the
later.
only, well, so is mine, but I just was using that as a generic example. So like mine is 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. So if they fill out the pop-up anytime between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m., they're going to get the text message 5 minutes later. After 8 p.m., the text message does not go out until 8 a.m. So at 8 a.m. in the morning, sometimes I'll get 3, sometimes I'll get 7 text messages. But just keep in mind that any customer that has gotten the text message at any point, or any customer that you've had a conversation with, can respond at any time to those messages. And like Tariq said, I wouldn't put an autoresponder on it. I would literally just either not respond or respond with something generic.
Okay, definitely better understood. And then one last thing before I get off here on the topic we were talking about a little bit ago. It was a pretty intense conversation when we're pricing ourselves to our competitor market. I've found that it's best that we stay competitive in the same market. And what we did is when we looked at our competitors market, we looked at the time frame that you had the unit for. So we have about a half a dozen competitors within a 75-mile radius roughly. And most of them are 6-hour rentals. So like our daily rentals are 9 hours long, and they might be a few dollars more for, some of our bigger units, but some of our combos might be a couple dollars cheaper than theirs as well. So, and we found that to help us tremendously.
I agree. I think it's important to, I kind of disagree with what Ashley said about, it takes your husband 5 minutes to do it, so you should, charge whatever. I think that you should charge the value. It's kind of like some of these places, like, technically your $100 Nike shoes probably cost $5 to make, but they don't sell them for $10, not only because there's other costs, but because there's that value, there's that brand. But that's the best part about owning your own business. You get to do whatever you want. I was actually, before I started this business, I was actually very successful in my career. I was a college instructor, and I was really successful. I moved up in the ranks, but I have that entrepreneur mindset. I always wanted to be my own boss, and now I have a party rental company, and I can do what I want. If I want to rent them out for $50, I can be the $50 bounce house guy, or I could rent them for $500. So I do feel that the Facebook groups can sometimes get aggressive. So don't get discouraged there. You could do, it's your business. Nobody can tell you how to run it. I have a very maybe unpopular opinion, but this kind of hits close to home. If you look back in the Facebook groups long enough, you'll see before I even started EventHawk, when I was very new, I had a really rough time because people kept making me feel like I was asking stupid questions. And I learned that you should not, please, don't take this the wrong way. You should not idolize people who have been in the market for 20 years. People who have been in this business for 20 years, you should look at people who were your size a year ago or a couple of years ago. And with COVID, I mean, it's a whole new world. So if you say, this guy makes $6 million a year, I'm going to do what he does because I want to be a millionaire like him. It doesn't work, because when he started, he was advertising in the yellow pages. And I kid you not, I seen one of these guys tell people that they need to advertise in the yellow pages because that's what he did when he started out. That's how he grew his company. So you have to look at somebody who's a little bit bigger than you. Don't look at the really, really big guys. look at somebody who's just a little bit bigger than you and do what they do, because every area is different, every market's different, and times are different. So don't get discouraged. As long as you grow a little bit every year, you should be fine.
Hey, Tariq, this is Curtis again. I do have a question in regards to EventHawk. So when you send out the text message, everybody was talking in regards to, hey, you get them 5 minutes or you have that time restraint and everything. Does EventHawk track if that customer does book, or you know, like, hey, that customer, they came to the page, they left, and then came back overnight? Are they still going to get that text message in the morning or something to that extent? Or are they going to know that, hey, that customer, you know, called and did a booking with us instead?
Yeah, if you're using Inflatable Office or Bouncy Castle Network BCN or ERS, then yes. If you're using a website that we don't, so we integrate with those three: Inflatable Office, BCN, ERS. We can do that with those three. If you're using something other than those three, then we wouldn't know. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you very much. We have ERS, so I know.
So that part of it takes a little bit longer. So usually if you sign up for EventHawk today, within 2 business days, we have everything live on your website, generating. And most people, I mean, I could show you guys, like, people are messaging me all the time. They're like, oh my God, I can't believe I waited this long. I signed up a few hours ago and I already got 3 bookings. It happens that fast because these people are already on your website. But so that part we set up very fast for you. Within 2 business days, you're live. But that the other parts, the full integration where it can tell if people booked and all that, that takes a little bit longer, it's a little more advanced. So that, you know, it won't happen right away. It'll take a few more days before we can get everything else set up. So if you sign up today, somebody books today, and then they get a text tomorrow, don't say, Tariq, you lied to me. That part of it just takes a couple more days before we can get that part set up. Mark, what were you showing us there? Was that your Yellow Pages ad?
No, you were talking about your first advertisement. This is, let's see right there, my first advertisement in 2004 in the Yellow Pages.
Man, you
Okay, or 2003. And then
You better laminate that, man.
yeah, and then you know, the old phone books, they used to have wrappers around the phone books back in the day. I was one of the first ones right there in the wrapper, and that's how I started out my advertising before I learned about what computers and SEO and all that good garbage stuff was, you know. But yeah, I've kept all the advertisements from the Yellow Pages from 2003 up. Well, until we didn't do it no more. We stopped doing it a while back. But it just goes to what you were saying, how, you know, you advertised everywhere to get started. Well, you know, sometimes even these newbies need to look at it as you have more options now with SEO. You have more options with people like EventHawk, people like, you know, SEO experts is willing to help you. I got a big help from someone that worked for AT&T.
That dry, I put it in a dry after I was in rain.
And had told me one of the best things to do when I was going to leave the phone book was to advertise with any Google related advertisement for free. Put your name in there. Just, they're easy to find. And that's how I started moving up. And I've been in the top 2 for the past 17 years on searches. And it started all with the phone book. So I'm here today. I still don't know a damn thing about SEO, but you know, that's what you guys are for, is to help me. But I'm just following up what you said, Tariq, about, you know, the advertising with the way you had started and where you started. So I'll keep this until probably forever.
Very cool. Thank you so much for sharing. That's definitely very, very cool.
Laminate that.
Laminate it. I agree. It'll be worth the
Frame it.
All right, who else has any marketing related questions or party rental related, anything related to getting more bookings? I'll go through the chat here and see if anybody has something. Some of you guys are asking questions on Facebook. Some of you guys are asking questions on the chat. There's way too much going on for me to get to all of them, but I'll do my best.
I have a question about plugins for the IO website. I'm not sure exactly where they stop, and I know you've done more. Is there anything we should be specifically looking into?
Plugins for your website?
Yeah, like I know you have the one that tracks how people like scroll through and actually where they stop to catch bad spots on your website. I can't think of the name right now because I'm just tired. But I mean, is there any other things we should be plugging in and doing with our website at this point?
Yeah, so Clarity is the one you're referring to. Clarity is a free one by Microsoft. It actually shows you people on your website and what they're doing on your website, so you can see patterns. Google Analytics, Facebook Pixel is huge. It's called Metapixel now. That is absolutely a must. I have videos on a lot of this stuff in the Success Kit. If you guys don't have it already, just text the word Hawk to our phone number and we'll send it over to you. But a lot of this stuff, you set it up on your website. You don't necessarily have to do anything with it now, but when you do decide to go in and make some changes, you don't have to make changes based on what you think. You'll have solid data on what works, and you'll have the Facebook Pixel. You have all this stuff. Again, a lot of people don't. They're like, I don't know what that is, so I'm not going to use it. Set it up now. It'll start recording data immediately, and then one day you can decide to do something with it. So those will be my top three: Facebook Pixel, Clarity, and Google Analytics. And then obviously if you're running Google ads, then you want to have that conversion tracking, but that's pretty much
Hey,
all.
Tariq.
Yes.
Sorry, Ashley here again. Anybody I tried setting up my Clarity with Microsoft through Bouncy Castle Network, and they weren't able to plug it in. Does anybody know why? They're saying that it's something on my end, but I'm just copying the thing and giving it to them. You know how you copy the code and you give it to them?
We do it all the time for BCN. It's part of our SEO program. So for our SEO customers, we just email it over to BCN and they put it in the header. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, Brandon said that it was something that I'm doing wrong. I was like, whoa, it don't let me do but 2 steps. I think I'm gonna have to have somebody look into that because I don't know why. It's weird.
Yeah, I'll just try to email them again and say, hey, can you put this in my header? We do it all the time, so they know.
Okay, so it goes in the header. I don't know if you put it in the right place. I would think he would know they gotta know. Okay, never mind. Thanks.
Brandon knows what he's doing.
I just want anybody that's listening, if there's any new people who don't have websites yet. I think I heard somebody say they didn't have a website yet. So we've been on here for an hour and 40 minutes. And in that hour and 40 minutes, I've had 3 people go on my website and book online. Like that, guys, you're missing out.
The future
Who
is now.
doesn't have a website? Who doesn't have one? Y'all need to listen to Jaina. I didn't listen to her for the longest time, and I was, Jaina?
Ashley, I should have thrown a party when you went to BCN.
I know. I was like, I'm so scared to switch. Remember?
I left ERS. Don't be worried. Like, I'm super happy.
Yeah, don't be scared, y'all. Don't be scared. You're gonna have to do the work, but don't be scared. Get a website. Get it. People don't want to talk to you on the phone. There's a lot of people that are like introverts. So they're like, they don't even like to go outside sometimes. So get a website and let them do what they need to do online. We're in 2022. Come on.
I know. Tariq would tell me, I would always tell him when he was asking me to test EventHawk, I was like, people really like to talk to me. I really like to talk to my customer. He's like, Jana, I understand that. He's like, but I just don't really think that you understand how many people don't want to talk to you. And I was like, no, you're wrong. And then I tried EventHawk and I was like, okay, you're right.
Oh, he's absolutely right. People don't want to talk to you. They're just like, they just want to do it on their own. They want to be left alone. They just want to see the bounce house in front of their yard on Saturday at 11 o'clock in the morning. That's all they want.
And if they can text you from start to finish, that just makes them so incredibly happy.
Yeah, exactly. Y'all need to get a website. Whoever doesn't have one, get one. Start, do your research. I started with Bouncy Castle Network, absolutely love it, but there's always room for improvement, I think with any booking software. There's always room for improvement for everybody, even for us. But get a website, that way at least people can get prices and pictures. That's what they want. Prices and pictures, prices and pictures, prices and pictures.
I agree. I see that Cynthia said she doesn't have a website. Cynthia, we just posted a link in the comments, a side-by-side comparison for Inflatable Office and Bouncy Castle Network, which is really awesome. It has some special offers as well and some example sites. I would really recommend looking, especially if you're new. Inflatable Office has a really low cost startup option. And then Sergio said, what website do you recommend? We have Wix. I love Inflatable Office and Bouncy Castle Network. I have Inflatable Office. I used to have ERS, but I'm so mad at myself that I didn't switch to Inflatable Office years ago. It's just so much more robust. Everything that you can do, everything that it tracks, is just really cool.
Bouncy Castle Network. Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry, the one that she just mentioned before, would you recommend that for like a newbie?
Inflatable Office has a really, Tariq, what is it, like $30 a month? I think the first 2 months are free, and then it's like $39 maybe.
It's $39 a month if you have less than 10 units. If you use the link that I just put in the comments, you get that plus 2 months free.
Nice.
Cool. That's our exclusive link that they give us to pass out.
For the new people that are looking into getting a website, Bouncy Castle Network is the easiest to navigate, in my opinion. I haven't done Inflatable Office. I've done ERS. ERS is a little difficult for me. It was just, I'm not a tech savvy. That's why I was really scared to even start my website, because I'm not tech savvy. And a lot of people aren't. We don't know how to handle codes. We don't know how to do all that. So Bouncy Castle Network is an amazing option because they already have things that are already integrated for you. So like templates and the colors and fonts. I mean, it's just, it already looks, all you got to do is put in your prices, your pictures, your content. And of course, you got to tingle with holidays and stuff like that, any other things and packages. But if you want the easiest, I think, in my opinion, was Bouncy Castle Network. I'm pretty sure IO is probably second, and then ERS has so many things to offer. However, it's a lot to learn, a lot. So
yeah, I agree with that,
just
because
FYI.
I tried IO before I went to BCN. I think IO is a little bit harder because I think I broke it twice. And I was like, okay, I'm going to have someone else do this. I switched to BCN.
Yeah, I agree. It's it's all about how you feel comfortable with your computer, and if you're good at creating content and using creative words and keywords to let your customers get in tune with you, engage in your website. However, half of your customers are not going to read it. They're not going to read it. So it's all about color. It's all about pop. You need to sell them with your template. Like, you know what I mean? You guys know what I mean, you know?
Hey, I'm going to jump in real quick because you're like 48 minutes past what you said you were going to go, Tariq. Thanks for inviting me, Jana, tonight. I did my best not to stir no trouble like last night.
Mark,
Tariq,
it's not if there's not a little bit of
whatever Tariq you're looking at in front of you, cast these green circles on your glasses and it looks like your contacts are falling out of your eyes. You got to get rid of that. And then Justin, I'm coming to Buffalo to take the big boys off of the wall in your back kitchen. I want that. It's mine. You better hide it. You guys have a
You
good
want that
night.
giant? You want the giant? Oh wait, you want the big boy sign?
Yeah, thank you guys for tonight. I learned a lot. I got to run. I got stuff I got to do. Y'all have a good night.
night, Mark.
Good night.
I will add just my 2 cents.
Good night.
You know, if BCN or Inflatable Office were here, they'll probably both hate me for what I'm about to say. But honestly, I use Inflatable Office. I'm somebody that's tech savvy. You know, if you're younger, if you're tech savvy, if you like to play around and make all these changes to your website, I wake up at 3 a.m. with $1 million idea like every other night. And I'm like, oh my God, I got to go do it right now. So I'll wake up and I'll go make changes to my website. If that's you, then you need Inflatable Office because BCN is more template. Everything is fixed. A lot of things, if you want to do them in BCN, you have to reach out to BCN and have them do them for you. But the other side of that coin is that Inflatable Office tends to be a lot harder if you are, you know, you're somebody who's not tech savvy. You want everything done for you. You want a lot of hand holding. BCN, I mean, their service is second to none. They're amazing. They'll do everything for you. They'll give you a template that works. It's already, you know, built in, plug and play. But again, the downside is that if you want to make changes, then you're going to have BCN do it for you. You can't customize every little thing without having BCN do it for you. That's my 2 cents.
Sergio asked about having 2 locations. Sergio, in Inflatable Office, you can have multiple locations. I am not sure about BCN.
Yes.
But okay. So yeah, either one would be awesome. And I am not tech savvy. I had ERS for 10 years and it took me like 6 years to figure it out. But I have not struggled as much as I thought I would with Inflatable Office. So I'm super proud of myself, guys. Just saying.
Yeah, I agree, Jana. I had ERS for like a month and I was like, I can't do this. It's too hard. I don't know what to do.
Everybody freaked out at the beginning.
They're like every day, Jana, can you help me with my ERS? And I'm like, man, I thought I was like past that, you know?
Everybody, like, you will freak out though when you're first doing your site. And then eventually, especially if you're new to this, but eventually it's just smooth sailing. But just throw, you know what I mean? Pick at it. Answer those phone calls and texts though. You know what I mean? Funnel that on Google. Some people don't even hit your website. You know how many people here when they talk to people on the phone or they're talking to them, like they say they never even went to the website. So you know what I mean? Like make sure you're just like get all the money you can. Your website, like I'm just speaking from experience. We're in April right now, pretty much. So you know what I mean? If you work on your like right now, I'm trying to just sweep up and only be able to throw little stuff at my website as I can because now it's business time, people. Like it's you know what I mean, it's rental season, but the website's a long-term play. You're gonna like Jana, she's all hyped up about IO. Like the first 2 weeks when she switched over, absolutely tweaking. Like
I cried like every day.
like so you know and she is a like so like it's scary, there's emotions involved. Like I just switched from ERS to BCN. I'm super happy now. Like
yeah, your website looks amazing. Your
Thank
website looks so freaking awesome. I'm like, oh, who did that?
I have to do so much more stuff to it though. Like I have but like I said, I gotta delegate. Like time is the whole thing, so I can only delegate so much. So I made a bunch of videos. Like I did the math because I want to do a video for every single category, and I already have all that done. But then I want to do a landing page per category with each, like you know what I mean, city. So I have like 20 categories and like 25 like city areas. So it's like easily over like 300 videos that I would have to make.
Yeah.
I could do it, but it's not happening right now. Like
No, we're too
not
far.
April 1st.
I know. I was telling Tariq, I'm still trying to get my new template going. I'm gonna switch it because my template is awful on a cell phone. Like they're just scrolling and scrolling, and everybody knows that 3-second rule. If they don't see something to click in 3 seconds, they're done. You know, especially on the phone. That's my strategy too. So I just want them to scroll once and be like, boom, what do you want? A bouncy castle, a water slide, and the template that I have is just they're just scrolling and reading all my content. So I got to switch it. And that's another thing to consider, people that don't have a website. You know, put yourself in your customer's shoes. Ask yourself, how long do I want to scroll? Am I really going to read all this? You know, make yourself like a customer and see, you know, would you do that? Is it easy for you to navigate? If it's not, then that's not for you, you know, then don't do it. However, I need to update my template so bad and get EventHawk and do Square. I need to do Square too. And right now is the time. I'm sorry, y'all.
I need to do Square too. I hear you. I haven't right now I have all just people are allowed to book and I'm letting everybody look at my website. So if you're looking at my website, people don't put random orders in there, just so you know. Like yeah, no, I gotta get that all taken care of. But yeah. I haven't had an issue yet, but
yeah. I had another
I
question.
call everybody to get like deposits and stuff, so I'll know. I'll find you. No.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be timid about doing EventHawk now because that was one of the things that was actually pretty seamless because they essentially set it up for you. So
Yeah,
I wouldn't
now's
be
the
worried
time.
about timing for that. EventHawk's something that it's pretty plug and play because they make it pretty plug and play for you. I mean, building a website, I think, is a lot to do right now, especially if you're busy. But EventHawk, that was smooth.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna do it on April 4th, Tariq. I already know what day I'm gonna call you.
All right. Well, you know what I tell people, you know, honestly, every day without a sales funnel, every day without EventHawk, without something like EventHawk, you're losing money. I mean, a lot of people are like, you know, Tariq, I want to wait until I have a little more money or until the season picks up. You know, in that time you could have made a lot because again, there's people already on your website. You just don't know it. So if you're waiting because you think, you know, the time you have to learn it, totally get that. But you know, there's people that want to book with you right now. They just, again, it's that process of them going to your website and they don't want to call you, they don't want to talk to you, so they just leave. So you're losing a lot of leads. And I will tell you, last year we got about 2,200 people to come into our EventHawk for my party rental company, and we booked about 30% of that. But the other 70%, I still have their information. So now I'm going to send them a mass text in the spring and say, hey, listen, I really want your business. Here's our newest stuff. I want to give you the chance to book it first. And hey, if I book 10% of them, that's a big chunk that can give me a really great April, right? Early on. So really good spring. So I don't have to wait till summer. So there's people on your website right now and you're not collecting their info every minute that passes by. That's exactly what happened with Jana. She said, no. And then finally I was literally on a Zoom with her just like this. And she's like, who's, you know, Mary or whatever? Is that you testing? I'm like, no. Who's Sally? Like literally 3 people came on while I was showing her how to use it right when we set it up. Boom, boom, boom. Because she has, you know, so much traffic on the website. So it's definitely not something you want to wait on if you're, you know, if you're ready to go now. Going through the questions in the chat real quick, Cassandra asked, who is texting them? Is that something we do or is it automated? It's up to you. You can fully automate the text. So if they say, how much are your bounce houses? An automated response says this, or you can build templates and manually just push a button and say this, say that. Automation results in less bookings is what we found because people can tell it's automated and they don't like it. Someone else asked, does this work for 360 photo booth and concession rentals? This is a sales funnel. Everybody uses it in all kinds of industries. So yes, it works for any company. Essentially, all you're doing is It's a 3-step sales funnel. Step 1, grab their attention with the pop-up. Step 2, collect their information. Step 3, send them an automated text message. It works for any industry. We literally have doctors and lawyers that use EventHawk. That's pretty funny. They had to change their templates, but yes, it works for any industry. Somebody asked, does this work equally with the smaller towns? My entire county is barely 25,000 people. Well, it's going to work differently. Obviously, smaller towns, you're going to have less people, but Jana is actually in a very small town. I almost turned down Jana as a customer when all this started because she's I don't know how many people you have in your area, Jana, but I remember being concerned when I was doing her Google ads. I said, Jana, you're kind of in the middle of Florida, in the middle of nowhere. I don't think that this is going to work out for you for what I'm charging you, but it just depends on how much traffic. Now, just to be clear, EventHawk does not generate traffic for your website, right? You need to do Google ads or SEO or Facebook ads. We offer all those services separately, but EventHawk is like a really good salesman. But if you put a really good salesman in a store and there's no customers, there's nobody to sell. So just to be clear, if you're a brand new website and you get EventHawk and then a week later you're like, Tariq, nothing is happening, well, that's because there's nobody on your website. You have to get people to your website either by running Google ads, Facebook ads, SEO, or paying us to do some of those things for you. So you need to get people to your website. EventHawk will help you book them once they get there. Does this work with saturated areas like SoCal and cheap competitors? Again, the reason people don't want to spend money with you, the reason people want to pay you $50 for a bounce house is because they don't know your worth. EventHawk gives you an opportunity to communicate with them. Jana is a perfect, I mentioned Jana a lot because Jana, she's my customer, but also she's taught me a lot because she's a great communicator. If you follow Jana on social media or you see how she talks to her customers, she uses emojis galore. That's something I never did. I thought it was weird, but when you communicate with your customers and you use emojis and you're friendly, not formal, when you're less formal, more friendly, people start to be like, wow, this is a great person. I don't want to start over with somebody else. Quick example, I went to buy a truck, $30,000 truck. And after sitting at the dealership for 3 hours with the salesman, I liked the salesman, he was really cool. And then my wife says, Tariq, look, I found a truck that's $2,000 cheaper, about 30 minutes away. Let's go check it out. And I'm like, $2,000, yes, we could save $2,000, right? But then I'm like, you know what? I've been here for 3 hours. I already like this guy. I don't want to start over with somebody else. What if I go to the other dealership and there's something that I don't like over there? And then it's like, I missed out on this truck. So I ended up spending an extra $2,000 because I liked the communication. I felt comfortable. So that's kind of what EventHawk gives you the opportunity to do. Build a rapport, build a relationship with them so that in the end they say, you know what, you're $50 more expensive than your competitor, but it's worth it because, they didn't take the time to talk to me, explain things to me. I know that if I have a question on party day, I can text you and you're going to answer me. I'm not going to be left stuck. So hope that answers your question. See what other questions we have here. I just opened up my party rental business. I just have one bounce house. How does this benefit my business? And I launched my website last week. Again, if you were to do everything that EventHawk does for you on your own, it's going to cost you at least $500 a month. We charge $3 a day. That's like a cup of coffee. So the deal is you buy me a cup of coffee a day and I help you convert your clicks into customers. So if it's worth it for you with one bounce house, $3 a day for the potential to book a $200 bounce house, then yes, it's worth it. Without, that'll help you generate the revenue to buy more. But that's kind of just where the way that I look at it. I always think about the ROI, the return on investment. Is it worth spending $3 a day for something that can give me $200 a day? For me, that answer is yes. You have to ask yourself that same question. Let's see here.
Hey, Tariq, this is Janice. I've been in and out. Did you, are we gonna have a LinkedIn integration?
LinkedIn integration is coming for the social media planner so that you can go ahead and post on LinkedIn. I don't know if it's coming for messages. You get a lot of business off LinkedIn?
Well, I am starting to get a lot of calls from there because I'm actually targeting schools and companies for like employee appreciation days and stuff like that. So I'm starting to get a few more. But I've been posting kind of a little bit more on LinkedIn than I have been in the past. So I was just wondering if we was gonna be able to get that going, sooner or later. Whenever it come, I'll be ready for it.
Yeah, it might come later. I know it's somewhere on the playbook, but I don't believe it's coming anytime soon. But it is there somewhere. So, but hey, if you have success with LinkedIn, let's please share with me so we can so you can teach the rest of us. I've never really had success. I know that's where corporate people are, but only time I ever went on LinkedIn is when I was looking for a job. So then
Well, I ain't gonna lie, like so my focus this year, I just need 20 schools to meet my goals for May. And so financial secretaries are the people that we have to talk to down here, that they handle the money for the schools. They really make the ultimate decision how much money they're gonna spend or what have you. So so I don't know who I was talking. Somebody gave me that idea, and so I started finding because you can look for high school, middle school financial secretaries, and then I started with the human resource aspect of doing employee appreciation because we're starting to pick up on that. So I'm trying to get my play at work play at work program up and running. I have about a couple businesses that's been doing it quarterly for their employees, and so I'm just getting footage and pictures and stuff like that so I can boost that even more. I've had about 20 employee appreciation events like within the last 3 to 6 months. And so the human resource people that are on LinkedIn are people that's starting to find me now. And so that's what my gear is for that with LinkedIn. I don't know too much about it. I'm learning as I go because not too many people use LinkedIn for different things, but I've been just a little short time I've been doing it. I've gotten quite a few calls from the videos I post on LinkedIn, the and different posts that I've made on LinkedIn and stuff like that. So I'm learning.
I want to know what play at work is.
Play at work. So our program is my thing is our company thing is we bring the Bluff City Fund, and so we want everybody to tap into that and find that inner child and have some Bluff City fun. And so as we all know, life is what it is, but you always got to relax, release, and reboot. Get back to some fun, and so you can get back to the work. And so our play at work program, we offer monthly, bi-monthly, weekly, bi-monthly, monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, and annual events. Usually we've been getting a lot of like employee appreciation picnics and stuff like that. So we have 2 companies that and it's just basically playing at work. One of our companies, they put games in their break room, and they don't really spend a lot of money, but it's the consistency that they're doing. I think they spend $300 to $500 whenever they do it, but they put the games in the break room, and so employees, like, we drop it off that day and then we pick it up the next day. Is one of them is at a warehouse where they have 3 different shifts, and so basically the employees for this particular day, they get to play while they at work. They get a little break when they on their breaks. It's kind of like just something different to do or whatever, and they kind of like it. We've gotten good feedback from the employees and stuff like that. I think in talking with different managers over HR, they're trying to be creative in ways to show their appreciation to the employees, because it's not, and we all know it's harder to keep employees now. It ain't all about the money, it's really how you treat them. And so my next step, I have one company that has done the play at work where they have the games in the break room, and then they actually have signed up to do our team building squad games. And so basically that's where we come in, and it's just a day of competition, and we just focus on different things of team building. We're excited about that. We did 2 prior to COVID, and this will be our first one after post-COVID or whatever we got going on, because I don't know how you even describe it now. But so we just have different programs where they could do the play at work where they had the games. We can do a fun carnival. It's basically like a school thing. And then we do like team building squad games where we facilitate everything. And then you have another type of game day where it's a specific format.
Super
pretty
cool.
cool.
Yeah. I want to know all about it as you grow it.
Okay.
Yeah, me too. That's really cool. I would like more information on that too.
Y'all gonna have to I'm gonna put my number in here because I got a lot going on. And so you need Jana, I got your number. But Ashley, you need to text me and so I can put your number in my phone and then I can periodically do that because I'm hit or miss. I got a lot going on, just like everybody else stuff all that. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. But I'm gonna shoot you my number so you will have it.
Yeah. This year, actually, I've never booked schools before. And this year I got 6 schools booked back to back to back. So I'm like super overwhelmed.
It's
and they
a
want
lot.
them like at 8 in the morning. I'm like, oh my God.
Congratulations, Ashley. That is awesome.
And that's why I'm telling people, get a website. Schools are not going to book with you if you don't have a website. They want to see if you're real, legit. Get a website. Yeah,
They do
back to back.
and get videos too. This year we are focusing on getting videos of our bigger events. So my goal is to get at least 20 to 25 videos just to showcase our products and our layouts and our setups and stuff like that. And people have seen our videos and they call us because, oh wow, you set this up. And because they see it, and other people probably do the same setups, it's just that they don't see it and stuff like that. And so that's my goal this year. Like my first 20 to 25 big events, like I'm paying for it to go and get it out there so I can have different types of setups so people can actually see it. And it makes a difference because like with my goals with the schools, all I want is 20 to meet my goal. If I do 20 and they average anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000 or really they've been averaging about $2,500, but $2,000 to $3,000, that's good for me. That's my capacity, what I can handle.
Right. Yeah, that's definitely good. That's great. That's great. Wow. That's amazing. I really want to I need some more info on that. I'm going to keep in touch with you.
Sorry, Tariq, us ladies are done chit-chatting.
I know, I'm sorry. He's like, hurry up. They get off of here.
I went through all the questions on the Zoom. There's a few more questions on Facebook we'll have to get back to. I'll just kind of reply to them maybe tomorrow or something. Some of them I have to see what they're talking about because they're asking about something I said. But that's it. If you guys don't have any questions, thank you guys so much for joining. I hope you guys learned something. I learned something from Janice about LinkedIn. So the more you learn about that, please share. Love to have you kind of teach everybody else. Anything else you guys would want to learn about or want to do a round table about? Yesterday we did a round table about employees and hiring. If you missed that, check that out. We just shared it on our page. And today was bookings. Anything else you guys want to learn about? We love doing these. We love teaching, giving back to the community. So just let us know your ideas and we'll make it happen.
All right. Good night.
Have a great rest of your night, people.
Night, guys.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.
Night.